Advocate Zithulele just moved to have accused 4 discharged under Section 174, and George Baloyi's reply left key questions unanswered. Here's what went down and the critical discrepancies Baloyi ignored. Welcome back to Skybriedge. I'm guiding you through every courtroom twist. Today we break down Advocate Zithulele's bid to throw out charges against accused 4, and why Advocate George Baloyi's response raised more questions than answers. Section 174 allows a court to enter a not guilty verdict if at the close of the state's case there's no evidence an accused committed the crime. Zithulele, acting for Mthokoziseni Mafisa, accused 4, insists the state failed to link him to Senzo Mayiwa's murder. Zithulele's heads of argument, filed by 15 August, argued, the state's case relies on hearsay and untested witness summaries. There is no direct forensic link between Mafisa and the fatal shot. Key eyewitness Kelly Nxumalo was never called to testify. 10-year investigation timeline exposes motive uncertainty and investigative lapses. Discrepancies in the alleged payment trail for the accused remain unexplained. Baloyi told the judge that the state received Advocate Zithulele's submissions and needed 3 days to file a response, setting the state's heads down for 22 August. He focused on procedural fairness, insisting the defense got all documents timelessly, and reserved comment on calling Nxumalo later if needed. Yet Baloyi sidestepped major holes in the state's narrative. No explanation for why Kelly Nxumalo's first-hand testimony was abandoned. Ballistics report chain of custody gaps remain unaddressed. Conflicting witness statements on shot count and direction were left unexplored. The source of funds allegedly used to pay the accused, originally flagged by Nxumalo, wasn't even mentioned. 10 years of unanswered motive questions vanished in Baloyi's procedural focus. What Baloyi did is to introduce Makeleni'S statement and say the contents places accused number 4 at the crime scene on the day Senzo was unalived. Advocate Manisi objected and said it is new evidence. Zithulele was also not impressed by Baloyi's response, adding that he has not responded to any of the arguments he submitted before court. Judge Rotha set arguments for early September. If the court believes there truly is no prima facie case against Mafisa, he walks free. Otherwise, the trial continues against all 5 accused. Which ignored discrepancy do you think undermines the prosecution's case? Comment below and join the conversation. Your voice drives accountability. Hit like if you found this breakdown useful. Subscribe and ring the bell to never miss a court update. Stay tuned as I take you to the highlights of today's proceedings. Next up, a deep dive into the ballistics evidence in the Mayiwa trial. Thanks for watching. See you there.
I submit, my lord, that the statement of Mr. Makeleni is crucial to place, and here I mean the evidence. The evidence of Mr. Makeleni as contained in Exhibit J is crucial to place the assailants on the scene. I'm now, my lord, going to ask Dr. Sibanda to take the court through the evidence that has been tendered by the state, as indicated earlier on, and he will proceed from page 4 of our. Yes, it was handed up, my lord. We'll give the exhibit number as we go along, my lord. We'll come back to that exhibit number.
Okay, Mr. Jonas is going to interpret now, or when? After?
After the doctor is done.
Or after the... Okay, fine.
Please the court.
Yeah, well.
I just want to raise a point in limine.
Oh.
Yes. I realize that the state is referring to an alleged statement of Mr. Makeleni that was introduced, according to him, and it also referred to Exhibit J. I'm not so sure whether this is an opportune time for the defense to respond in this regard, because the state is exploring issues here. It says it is introducing that Exhibit J with a view to try and place the accused at the scene, or the suspect at the scene. The state is not being specific, and we all know that this application is about accused number 4. So As I'm saying, I'm not so sure whether this will be an opportune time because as far as the defense is concerned, from the point on which I'm standing on, this is an entirely new aspect of the evidence altogether, which aspects it's been pushed through the back door subsequent to the comment that has been made by the court yesterday with regard to Mr. Makeleni. So I'm not so sure whether at the end of this application by the defense and the response by the state, would we also be afforded the opportunity to specifically deal with this crisp issue, not on the application per se, but this issue of a statement as it relates to Mr. Makeleni. The reason why I'm standing up, my lord, is simply because I don't want to be seated here and later on when we raise this point and it is then thrown back to us and said, but you're seated there, you did nothing about it, my lord.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you.
Please, by all means, I think the defense will be at liberty to respond to any issue that,
Yeah.
any point that we argue.
As it is the court.
Is that okay, Mr. Nxumalo?
I'm finding it difficult because
Hello?
I'm saying I'm finding it difficult because my colleague is raising the 7 requirements that are stipulated in this HSA Act, but it doesn't substantiate or support whatever application that he is making in terms of those requirements. Even at the time when he was afforded the opportunity to do so during the state case. So the 7 requirements must be met. There must be a formal application.
You can raise that in your argument, no problem.